So, hello again everyone. You might have seen my video from the other night. Just thought I would, as we now have heard the news that I was discussing the other night regarding Sainz and Daniel Ricciardo, I thought I would do another video just kind of going over that, which kind of makes sense now we know what's happened rather than just having that one out in the open. And the more Formula One, kind of, how can I put it, focused people watching this, fans will know that obviously Sainz is the guy who's been signed to Ferrari as it goes. And there was I was saying the other night that it seemed to be that that was the way it was going to go. That's what it looked like. Those were the reports. And that is what's happened in the end, which I think has surprised a few people, maybe myself slightly. The other thing is Ricciardo going to McLaren, which we said at the start there. So, yeah, there's been a lot of speculation about, as we go over it, one or the other. I don't want to keep this over it too long, but just give people a bit of background. I think many people were thinking Ricciardo would go to Ferrari purely because he's spoken about winning the championship the other week, before this whole thing started, to be honest, in an interview last week, saying that he wouldn't have gone into the sport if he didn't want to win a title. And that move that he did recently with Renault, I've just heard actually, before talking about this, the contract that he's on at Renault, and it apparently was revealed in a court case that he had recently, 26.5 million euros he's getting per year at Renault, which is astonishing. I think football contracts mind-boggle you, but motor racing as well. He'll have been on more than his teammate last year, Hulkenberg, and then this year his teammate was going to be Ocon. But anyway, he's talking about winning a championship. That move to Renault didn't seem to do anything towards doing that. He was only on a 2-year contract, but I think he was thinking at the end of those 2 years they might be further down the line than they are now. Granted, he's only done one of those years because we've not got going this year yet. But and nobody knows where the cars are at all. Renault could be above McLaren this year. I mentioned last year McLaren, who he's moving to, they finished above Renault in the championship last year by 1 place. They got knocked down by McLaren. So who knows? As Martin Brundle says with that one, that's going to be interesting this year. We've not even played out this year yet. That's the main thing. And we've got all these driver moves suddenly kick-started by Vettel not signing again for Ferrari. Sainz going to Ferrari, that is something, really. He's 25, he's been in the sport since 2015. Something I didn't realise, thanks to Ted Kravitz for pointing this out, but he can actually speak Italian as well. He's Spanish himself, but he actually can speak Italian. So going to Ferrari in that point of view is good, because he can communicate with the team, which I didn't realise. Leclerc, I think, probably can speak a few languages from Monaco, Leclerc. The key thing in it all, I think, is Leclerc looks to be the one who they're really gunning for, who they want to go and win the title for them, like they did with Schumacher, like the idea was with Vettel, but that didn't quite transpire. Do they want, yeah, it's weird, Leclerc going for the title. Is Sainz going to be okay to go there? Well, he's signed now, so you think he is okay, but will he be able to go there and play, not second fiddle, but they're in a team, around a team focused on Leclerc trying to go for the title from next year. We've got no regulation changes next year now, so the drivers will be pretty accustomed to the cars and the setup and the design of them. So you wouldn't think you'd need too much to get used to a new team and steering wheel and things like that. But in terms of the technicalities of the car, it'll be very similar next year. Are we going to get some team order scenarios like we had with Schumacher and Barrichello? Because they're both experienced now. Sainz has got more experience than Leclerc, really, because Leclerc's what he has. Leclerc started in 18. Yet Leclerc's the one who they've got gunning supposedly for the title. So that is the crazy thing about it. And yeah, I'm not even sure how long contract he's signed for, maybe 2 years to begin with again. But Leclerc's the one they're going to be focusing their efforts around. I can't see Sainz going there. As Martin Brundle said, Sainz is the main driver who's pushed Max Verstappen as a teammate when they're at Toro Rosso. No one else has pushed Verstappen that way. So he can definitely push Leclerc. And is he going to be getting in the way, almost like last year with Vettel, but the other way around, Sainz coming off best with Leclerc? That's not going to do Ferrari any good. But the other interesting thing was that Ferrari, they've gone for Sainz because of his speaking Italian, and then their focus around Leclerc has made that. But also, I'm told, and this is according to Ted Kravitz, they were speaking to Lewis Hamilton over the winter, and it was well known apparently through agents that Lewis was speaking to Ferrari for next year. And then suddenly out of the blue, Lewis turned around, did an interview and said, I'm focused on re-signing at Mercedes now, which I didn't know anything about this. And Ferrari suddenly came out saying they're looking for someone else. They're looking to renew Vettel's contract now instead. And this was all apparently in January, February. Suddenly they changed tack and said, we're going to keep Sebastian, we don't want Lewis. There was a guy in relation to Ferrari, John Elkann, I heard, who was talking to Lewis about going to Ferrari, and then suddenly it stopped. So we don't know quite why that happened over the winter. Something they were discussing terms or something made Lewis think, oh, I don't want to go here anymore, and something made Ferrari think, oh, we want to keep Sebastian now. Now we're a couple of more months down the line, 3 months down the line, and Sebastian decided, I don't want to stay there, and that's come to an end. I think that's partly formulated why them getting in Sainz has happened in such a quick time frame. Vettel's leaving on Tuesday, I think it was, or Monday. Here we are, yesterday, this morning, and Sainz has been out in the seat, and it's taken 2 days. So they've obviously, I think before talking to Sebastian, they probably were talking to Lewis and talking to other drivers, and it's been going on for rather a while, even though we haven't started this season yet, that they thought, all right, God, Sebastian, we need to get some driver in now. And obviously their focus was straight away on Sainz, and since Vettel wasn't saying, they've not looked at anyone else, so they've gone straight into him. And good luck to him, really. In terms of results, as I was saying the other night, Sainz not has had as many good results as Ricciardo, but then he's been in the sport for 5 less years. He actually got on his debut in 2015. What am I saying? In 2015, on his debut, he came 9th for Toro Rosso, which was a very, very good debut in Formula 1. Actually, the year after that, in 16, he came 9th again, twice in a row in Australia. I think that was, and then in the US Grand Prix in his first year, he also came 7th. So, since he's come on the scene, he's not done badly. In 2016, so 9th again in Australia, came 6th in America again, so another good race that he had there. 6th in his home Grand Prix in Spain in 16, 17th in Singapore, coming 4th just before he left Toro Rosso to go to Renault for the end of that season. All a bit crazy at the time, a bit confusing. And then in 2018, still at Renault, wasn't such a good year, so that's probably been his one downside, 2018, when he was partnering Hulkenberg. But then in McLaren, he's done very, very well for the last year. And obviously getting that 3rd place in Brazil when Lewis got the penalty for colliding with Albon in the Red Bull. So after the day of the race, the day after, Sainz was promoted to 3rd, and that was McLaren's first podium for, let's say, a long time, which was well received. So he's certainly done really, really well with the team. And obviously they've both still got to push on for this year. As I say, this season's not started yet. Moving on to Ricciardo, as I said, I was all gunning for Ricciardo to maybe go to Ferrari or Lewis the other night. But I think the reason that hasn't happened, and that they didn't even speak to him at all by the looks of it, is that they've got this focus around Leclerc being the #1 driver now. And I don't think Ricciardo would have liked being joint #1. I think you can go up against a driver like that because he's done it with Verstappen. But he maybe, just didn't quite appeal to him as much, but he does deserve a top drive. But then, And it also goes with his idea, as I said at the start, of trying to win a championship sooner rather than later, because he's 30, so he's 5 years older than Sainz, has been in it for a little while longer. But the fact that maybe the team, Ferrari, didn't want to speak to him at all because they knew they're focused around Leclerc, didn't want to bother speaking to Ricciardo because they knew he wouldn't fancy it, being challenged by Leclerc and not being A, maybe the clear number one, or B, being a joint number one. So Ricciardo's ended up going to McLaren to replace Sainz, which is an interesting one. Ricciardo has said himself, I'm so grateful for my time with Renault and the way I was accepted into the team, but we aren't done and I can't wait to get back on the grid this year. And he's saying, see you this year again. My next chapter isn't here yet, so let's finish this one strong. So seems like he's ready and gunning to do this year. Can't wait to see that. That'll be interesting. Partnering Ocon, we've not seen Ocon. I think this is going to be a big year for Ocon, without going off topic completely, but he's had a year out being Mercedes test driver. Remember seeing him actually, I think, on his debut at the back of the grid in Spa. This was in 2016. So he actually came in to replace Rio Haryanto, I believe, maybe even with the HRT, probably the last year that they were there in the sport. But that's Ocon, and he was fast. You could tell he was fast, and that was on his debut with 5 races to go of the season. Taking a year out, he's a Mercedes driver on their kind of programme, but he's been, I don't know how it works, he's actually contracted out to Renault at the moment. He's going to be fast, so he's going to push Ricciardo more than Hülkenberg did at Renault. So we've got this final season where Ricciardo's got a different teammate. He ends up spending 2 years at Renault with 2 different teammates and then changing team again. We'll see how he goes up against Ocon when we do get going, knowing that he's going to leave and go to McLaren. I think McLaren, he'll be more of a number one, or definitely more of a number one, because Norris is starting out. Norris has done very, very well. The two of them will be, I think they'll rub off well on each other. Norris, being English, does a lot of his sim racing that you might have seen also online, these virtual Grand Prix. And the main thing is with McLaren, the Mercedes engines. McLaren going back to Mercedes engines next year. When Ricciardo leaves Renault, Renault will be the only team with a Renault engine. At the moment, McLaren are using the Renault engines. So Ricciardo's not going to McLaren for more use of the Renault engines. He's going there because they're going to Mercedes engines. That's had a big say in it. Money's not really a factor in him anymore when he's had 26.5 mil euros at Renault. He'll be hoping, Ricciardo, that he can push on to win the championship at McLaren. We'll see. They got to 4th, as I said, last year. Are McLaren going to get into that bracket of top teams again, especially when the rules change? So he's going to have a year again under the current rules. What will happen in 2022 when they have this budget cap that they want to put in and the technical regs are different? Are McLaren going to be up there? I think that's really what it boils down to. Again, I don't know quite how long the contract is for Ricciardo at McLaren. Is he going to win the championship with McLaren? He's definitely going to be the number one, which he'll be happy with there. Will he win races? Will he win a championship? Or will he end up having to make another big move? Has he got time for another big move in his career? There are still some of the questions, I think, surrounding Ricciardo. So we'll wait and see what happens with that. Obviously 7 wins, though, to his name. We shouldn't forget that. All with Red Bull after leaving HRT. 3 poles already in his F1 career. Over 1,000 points. So he's certainly got the ability. I think a lot of it is where McLaren will be, but being an English team, we hope they do well. And then lastly, I've been going for 15 minutes here. Lastly is the Vettel situation. What do you guys think? If you're watching, leave a comment below. Leave a comment on anything in this video, but particularly with Vettel. What do you think he's going to do this year? Martin Brundle hinting he might leave. It might be his swan song. Is he going to go to another team? Let's, again, not forget he's got another year at Ferrari. Just because he's leaving, he's not going to be someone who just steps down and lets Leclerc take the lead and lets this team make Leclerc take the lead on decisions and team orders. Vettel's going to be up there racing Mine brother said for himself. So he'll be wanting to put his name in the limelight, whether he's retiring or not, Vettel, and he'll be wanting to show that he's still got something in him. He's not going to get outgunned by Leclerc again for most of the season, and that he's still a top driver. Might be on his way out, but wanting to show that he's still got that ability and he's not just lost it and he's passed it and he's retiring on that front. So it's still going to be a great year for him at Ferrari. I think he's maybe not seen as the #1 driver, but he's going to be wanting to show he is, even though he's leaving. And then in case also another team wants him for next year, where is he going to go? Do you think he's going to go Renault, which some people think to replace Ricciardo, and that'll be the merry-go-round, three-way change? Will he go to... Where's me hesitating? Will he go to Alpha? Are we going to see Kimi Raikkonen carry on for longer and Vettel might go there, potentially? There's not really a seat at Racing Point. There's not many other options after Renault or Alpha, to be honest. He's not going to go to the Red Bull B team unless he goes back to Red Bull and partners Max Verstappen, which, would that happen, I'm not sure. Some people have mooted he could go for Mercedes, maybe. But yeah, if he's got another big move in him, what's going to happen with Bottas? That's not... We don't know with Hamilton and Bottas, so they're definitely both staying at the moment. Lewis probably is, but Bottas, no one's talking about him. He's out of contract at the end of the year. Will Vettel go to Mercedes and partner up with Lewis? That would certainly be two #1s if ever there was any in the sport. That would be something. That is the big question. What do you think Vettel's going to do next? Leave me any comments, send me any messages if you have got an opinion on that. Be happy to see it. Hope you enjoyed the video. As I said the other night, outside of this, it's going to be a fascinating Formula 1 season for a start, and obviously I haven't been sent, or new to this type of thing, so I haven't been sent the F1 2020 game, like demo or anything that I can show you guys how it plays and the ability of the cars and stuff, just because I haven't got it yet and I can't get it like you. I know some of the established YouTubers on here can, and they've been showing it off, going around Zandvoort and things. It looks like a good game, so I'll try and, when I can get my hands on the game, show that for you guys as well later in the year. And also I want to do some videos while I'm playing, comms-wise, showing you while I'm playing. I have been doing that a little bit anyway, but it'd be good to have a webcam, have a camera, so you can actually see me there while I'm doing it. So maybe that's the type of content we'll have coming up in the near future. Try and mix and match it a bit. I'm putting myself here talking about it after I've raced, because I've realised with what I've got here I can do that, have me talking with the footage as well, not while I'm playing it. So that's the content to look forward to. Hope you've enjoyed these two videos. Get the opinion on Leclerc and Sainz. Sainz has got his top drive. Will he be, as I say, pushing the boundaries at Ferrari, or will he be happy to wait a couple of years until he can start, until Leclerc's achieved a bit more, and then he can start achieving things with Ferrari? I'm not sure he's the type of guy to want to do that. That's basically the point. As we've seen, he can get his... He's finished in the top 4 before. He can certainly match teammates. That is the question mark over it, really. Sainz to Ferrari, we'll see how it goes. Frenchman and a Spaniard. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for listening, thanks for watching. I'll speak to you next time.